And then I realized that, today, January 15th, 2020, I lost my dad. And he died suddenly, just like that. And I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to him. And I woke up funky and I went, shit, what is it? And then I realized that was it. It was just like in here, in my wiring and in my constitution, that it was just hitting me, and it was heavy on my heart. So I wanted to share something with you guys. I know a lot of guys out there like me had a very complicated relationship with your dad, and now we're in this club where our dads are walking in the clouds. And like me, I had not only a complicated relationship with my dad. My dad died January 15, 2020. The day before Christmas Eve, we got into a huge fight, a massive fight on the phone, and it wasn't good. And we never reconciled. And I regret that. I will always regret that. And now that he's gone, I never had that chance to say goodbye. I never had that chance to reconcile. I just wish that I could hug him one more time and kiss him on the cheek and look him in the eyes and say, we're good. We're good. And all that other shit, you realize it just doesn't matter. And when they're gone, especially when they're gone, that shit, whatever you were arguing about, it really doesn't matter. And I wish I had that shot. So I want to tell for you dudes out there, and I know there's a lot of you, because we have talked about this over the years, sharing messages back and forth. I understand, and I get it. And what's interesting, and this has happened, a good friend of mine lost his dad. A few good friends of mine lost their dad this past year in 2024. You realize that even in a complicated relationship, what I realized with my dad is our complicated relationship was so ever present. And wildly enough, as the years went by and I traveled down the road of life and experience and became a father of my own 3 times, proud girl dad, you start to realize, man, my dad loved me, limited love, with the limited capacity that he could love. But even with that limited capacity, he loved me with all he had. And I didn't realize that till much later in life. And then once he was gone, I really realized that. And the other part to this message is, I know that there's a lot of guys out there, I know, and a lot of them are my friends, and we've had this conversation, where you might be going through it with your dad now, and you might have a complicated, complex relationship with your dad. There's a lot of unsolved shit. This is what happens when, it's a testosterone-fueled relationship between a father and a son, especially that generation of my dad and this generation of me today. But what I want to tell you guys out there is, if you still got your dad around, heal that and reconcile that, because you don't want to be like me and be in a position like me where shit's fucked up. You want to talk about it. It's uncomfortable, and I get it, but take that leap. And I'd rather you be uncomfortable and reconcile it and make whole with your dad while he's here, while you can, than not do it. And then I don't want you to wind up like me, where you don't have that chance to reconcile with your dad, and then all of a sudden you wake up and you're having to write the eulogy for his funeral. I don't want that for you guys. So if you got your old man around, get uncomfortable, pull him aside and say, hey, let's do our best to kind of squash this. And even in the effort, whatever happens in that, it's not going to be perfect. Sometimes it will, maybe, I hope. But even if it's not, that's okay. I guarantee you, just in the effort of trying, you guys will reach some sort of new love and new place that should feel good. Anyway, I say all that to say, my dad, Soul Man Rocky Johnson, he was a trailblazer, and he did a lot of great things, and he was a bad dude in the game. First black WWE tag team champions, we're very proud of. And my dad, despite all his flaws and all his complications, and as kind of intense as our relationship was, my dad taught me a few things that I will never forget and that I will always be grateful for. He taught me hard work, and he taught me discipline. Those 2 things, I realized, holy shit, those 2 anchors in my life have taken me so far. Discipline and hard work. Now, some of the other shit, that's the stuff I don't want to do. And I learned the hard way. but I thank him for those lessons too as well. So Soul Man, happy anniversary. I know you're up there, and thank you for the lessons. And again, to all my guys out there, if your old man is still around and you got some stuff you want to figure it out. Figure it out, because before it's too late, and you never know what's around the corner. All right. Love you guys, and thank you for the support, and thank you everybody for the support here in LA.